Super Monkey Ball Jr. Oh my god. That was very loud. Uh, yeah, it's Super Ball, Monkey Ball Jr. It's Monkey Ball Jr. I think this is just a conversion of the original Monkey Ball, but on the Game Boy Advance. This is looking kind of rough there. It's looking a little rough, but you know what? Why play Monkey Ball on the on all these other platforms like, I don't know, the GameCube or the PlayStation 2 or the Wii or the Switch, when you can play Super Monkey Ball on your Game Boy Advance? I'll tell you why. It's because oh no. Actually, I don't have a reason. I you know what? This game has become obsolete for the mere fact that they have the Monkey Ball, what was it called? Like Anniversary Deluxe or something that came out not that long ago. Well, actually, I don't know when it was, but maybe like a year ago, year and a half. I don't know. But it was on the Switch and the PS4 and 5. I have the Switch one, and I think it's just these levels, but remade with graphics. But you know what? I will say, like, for a Game Boy Advance game, this is pretty solid. Like, you know, they don't have the ability to do the polygons. They don't have the analog thumbstick, joystick, whatever you want to call it. So it's really hard for them to. And then there's no way to like control the. Game over. Yes, I want to continue. We can do this. I don't know why this is so hard. Like, I've played this before and I did like okay. All right, here we go. Be the monkey. Be the ball. Be the monkey ball. Oh god. You know, like they got little touches. Like even the clock on the ring works. I'm like, that's some dedication. Like they could have made a 2D looking ass Monkey Ball game, and they didn't. You know, it's funny. This actually kind of like, and it's been like years, more than a decade, but kind of reminds me on like when they came out with the iPhone and they had like when they had like the App Store originally. There was like Super Monkey Ball like Sakura edition or something for the iPhone, and it was like the monkey himself was not like a 3D model. It was just like a sprite, like a DS sprite, I think. And then the floors and stuff were like they were sharper than this, but they were like phone textures and stuff. So like everything was very like simple and like polygons and whatever, but like with textures, so it looked like it was supposed to. Something about this, but like there was a lot of assets because at the time, you know, phones weren't that powerful. So like, you know, I think the backgrounds were still just like JPEGs like this. And then, like I said, the monkey was just a sprite instead of like a rendered 3D model. But it was controlled with like the tilt controls on the what is it, the accelerometer or the gyro, whatever. It was the movement controls, right? And yeah, I remember like being like, oh my god, they put Monkey Ball on a phone? What? Because, you know, oh my god. Oh, you know what? Screw the bananas. Oh, you know what? I guess I'm just not. Oh shit. Oh god. You know, I don't think we're gonna get very far. I really don't think so. Anyway. The Monkey Ball, yeah, I just thought, I was like, oh my god, look, because because like I didn't have a like, oh god, he's so stiff, I didn't have a GameCube, right? So or PS2 or Xbox. So like the whole era where like Monkey Ball became big, which was like the Sega post consoles, like I was not a part of. So like I would see in like magazines and stuff, right? Like Game Pro and Electronic Gaming Monthly and Nintendo Power and the GameStop one, Game Informer, I think is what it was called. But like I never actually got to play it because it was just like I was stuck in the past, right? Like I still had a Dreamcast. Like that was my most recent console, and it was until like I got a DS many years later, but I never actually got to experience like the hype of Monkey Ball. And I think it was also an arcade game, but I never saw it at an arcade. Or at that time, also arcades were kind of going away, so you know, it makes sense that I didn't see it. But also, like, it's not like I was like frequenting, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna go to the local arcade. Like that wasn't a thing. So I never got to experience Monkey Ball in all its glory when everyone was all hyped about it. By the time I got to it, it was like on the Wii, I want to say. It was like Monkey Ball Step and Roll, I think might have been like the first one I ever played. Which, by the way, I remember like seeing reviews and things and people were like, oh man, it sucks. It's like, what did they do to the Monkey Ball? And you know, like, hashtag not my Monkey Ball. They didn't have hashtags yet. But I thought it was pretty good. And the whole idea was like, you got the balance board and you use your feet or your body to like maneuver him with the gyroscope of your body. Because they needed games that use the balance board in order to justify selling the balance board as more than just like the thing for Wii Fit. And because of that, that's why I picked it up. I got it at like GameStop on like a sale or something. But that's why I picked it up, and I just I remember playing it, and I didn't use I think I tried it with the balance board once, but I was like, this is hard. Which is interesting because that's like how they praise that game the most for doing that. Like they're like, this game's not really good, but you know, it does use the balance board and the controls are actually pretty solid. So I mean, you know, it's pretty good. I think that was the one thing that they could say. But then it would be, you know, they'd like make a snarky comment like, or you could just use the controller like nature intended instead of using the... Look at him! How can you not like him? What? That's it? Oh no, that's the... I'm first? No way. Look, they make me feel special. Okay. But yeah, that game got some not so great reviews, which again at the time, like when I played it, it was my first time interacting with the series, so I didn't have any. You know, people were like, "Oh, these controls don't feel like they used to," and I was like, "I don't know what they used to feel like, so I can't complain because I don't know what I'm missing because I never experienced it." And it did use the Wii controller for the control, like the motion controls, which was fine. A lot of games did that, and I think Monkey Ball was actually pretty good for that, like in concept. I don't think it was the most accurate of games, but it was you know, worked fine enough. And oh, I don't know what that is. It's like I don't know what that is. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay. Yeah, so in conclusion, all I gotta say is, yeah, it had bosses and stuff. Sorry, it was that one, and I think it was like Banana Blitz or Banana Mania, or I don't know, because there's two. There's one that got remade for like the consoles. And then there's the which was like either I think it might have been Banana Blitz, which was the first Wii one. And then they and then they did the like anniversary Banana Mania. Oh shit! Banana Mania I think was the anniversary game. And I mean Banana Mania was cool, but it felt weird. It felt kind of stiff. And after I looked it up, they're like, yeah, the controls were kind of changed a lot, and doesn't control quite as well. And I have since played like the original Monkey Ball on the GameCube, and that game is smooth as butter. So I get it. I get it. Like I can see where the where the frustrations for the series come from, because if you start off like that, and then you follow it up, as you're like, oh, I want more, and then, they just, no shit, and then they just kind of continuously fail to make it worth. What are the play points for? Probably unlock stuff. Do a little shimmy. Oh, there's another goal. Can I just go here? I mean, probably. Well, now I gotta try it. Yeah, let's go down there. Well, never. You know what? I'm gonna just go for the main one. So, Monkey Ball, a cool franchise, and I've always liked the little monkeys. And after they got the redesigns, they looked really cute, and they kind of fit in with all the other Sega characters. And I don't know, something about, I don't know why, like, it's hard to describe, but this, I think, was like towards the tail end of what I would consider like the like things feeling like Sega games, kind of like people that work there. Oh shit! Oh god! Well, I did not I tried hurrying up, and all I did was fall. We can try again. But as a kid, I always equated the feel of a game that was like a Sega game to the Sega name, right? Like games like Sonic, or basically anything that felt fast and like fluid, even if it wasn't like the most, like Mario. I think was I always compared it to like Mario, right? And like Nintendo games, they were always so finely tuned to like be the perfect, like everything felt like it was just like high quality, and like everything about it was like there was no corners were cut, and they definitely put in all their resources, and like they made like professional work, right? Like that's kind of how I always felt Nintendo games felt like. They always felt like professional, like I keep saying like they always felt like they always felt professional in the sense that there wasn't weird things or stuff that was not supposed to happen that was happening on your game. There wasn't anything that felt out of place, or like the game didn't let you do stuff that you weren't intended to do. It was definitely a thing where if you are at this area or you're doing this one thing in the game developer, like Nintendo, wanted you to find that, or it's you're not tricking the game. There's no way. They did too much to, are you kidding me? Like they checked every box. Every single thing they could possibly check, they did. And that's how I always thought of Nintendo games, right? Like, oh, cool, look at this thing I found. It's like, oh yeah, there's a reward for getting that thing. And that's kind of how I always felt. It's not a bad thing. It's great. That's why Nintendo games are held in such high regard. But I grew up with also Sega stuff, and I feel as though Sega stuff was it was still good. It was still good, but it had a little bit of jank. There was some jank in the Sega stuff, right? It wasn't this premier product of, the masterpiece of our generation or whatever, right? But it didn't matter because it was so fun because of how broken or how goofy or how, just extra the game was, right? People think of I'll think of Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game, or even any of them. And, it's based off of the gameplay is based off of the momentum. So everything is based off of him rolling around and, throwing himself off stuff. And, you know, there would be parts where you're going so fast where the camera would kind of freak out and you would leave the camera behind. And then it would snap back and Sonic's like way somewhere else, right? Something like that. I don't think maybe it was intended, but I think it was one of those things where it's like, oh crap, he's going too fast. He doesn't have like a speed cap. He's just going. So little things like that had, oh, those are bumpers. Same, Mimi, same. But because they had these little things that weren't like 100% polished, I think that's why I liked them so much, because they always felt like they had some little flaw. You know, they weren't perfect. They were fun. Are you serious? But they weren't perfect, so it was never this thing where, you know, you're playing the greatest thing of all time and you can't mess up because you're limited to these parameters. This is what the game wants you to do. Sega games always felt like they had something a little bit extra where it's like you can, there is jank and you can mess with the jank and it makes it more fun. I don't know what the reason I'm bringing this, like how I always felt about Sega games, is because as time went on, I don't know how they are anymore, because I don't really know what they put out anymore. But at this end, I think during this time, Monkey Ball was still part of that era of Sega, where towards the tail end, where they were just like, we're gonna make a game, it's gonna be this, and it's gonna have a little bit of jank because, you know, the controls and stuff, like that's just how it is. And that's not to say that the Sega games are not. Are you fucking kidding me? That they're not great, or, you know, I can't compare this to like Mario or Zelda or whatever, right? I don't think that's fair to compare them like that. Ooh, Monkey Bowling. Let's try that real quick. Mini Juego. One player. Normal. Baby. Ooh. They got the reflection? How do I play? Oh. Can I control the monkey? This is neat. I wonder how you play with more people, though. Do you just pass the controller back and forth? Damn it. Oh, he's sad. Basically, what I was just trying to say was that I love Sega games, and I think they're great. Jank and everything. Can I turn? Oh, I can't. What? That's kind of dumb. Like, the whole point of them being in the ball is that they can move the ball. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. Alright, clearly I'm not great at this, so I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop now. But this was Super Monkey Ball Jr. I think it's fine, but also obsolete. There's no reason to play this version anymore. But I did, and it's out there. So, good job at the time. You did your part. Now step aside so you can play the Switch game with the janky physics.